It's just me versus me beefing with myself.
Welcome back, episode 167 ever visited, and since we're kind of technically still in viewer request month because of everything that went on and that we're still doing videos that were voted for viewer request month.
We were going to be in viewer request month until the end of the month, actually.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. We decided to look through the list of the viewer nominated videos and go, hey, what's a good looking video from there? And what we landed on was Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho, building the arc versus by the BadLad.
I don't understand the title.
Building the arc versus each
other. Okay,
yes.
Okay. Kind of weird though.
We may do this again next week, depending on how we feel.
I mean, there's some pretty good looking videos there. I gotta farm out whatever.
Oh shoot, we'd have to record earlier. I have a wedding I'm attending on Thursday.
I mean, I was gonna say Monday, but no.
Tuesday, then maybe.
I don't want to do it Monday. I want my day off. Especially after Bush today.
Well, you get the day off. Your boy do
Oh my
not.
goodness. Not even for your boy MLK?
Nope. If it's not a holiday that shuts down literally every government institution, it is not a holiday we get off. So we get your Memorial Days, your Thanksgiving, those types of MLK, Juneteenth, President's Day, all these things. No, sir, you better rock it up in there. So yeah, Tuesday we might need to do it. Wednesday.
Worst case, just skip it.
Worst case, just skip it. Y'all have had enough of that, and y'all are gonna have enough of us as we look at this video. This should, depending on whatever arc they're talking about, largely go to Yu Yu Hakusho. But if it's Soul Society, there are cases
to the first arc.
First arc to Soul Society.
Substitute Soul Reaper to
the end of Soul Society versus up to maybe 4 Saint Beasts for Yu Yu Hakusho. That sounds like a pretty analogous amount of arcs. Yeah, I'd still go Yu Yu for a lot of things. But well, it depends on the criteria. It depends on what they're looking for, and it depends on their preference, whatever they like. So let's get into it.
You're forgetting something.
What?
Description boy.
I thought I just read the description.
No, you didn't.
Did I not? In a fight to the not death to what? What?
Yeah,
what?
see, you would have remembered that.
What? In a fight to the not in a fight to the not death, 2 manga arcs come in and both the punctuation is nutso and both leave, but I like one a little bit better than the other. This is building the arc versus Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho, over which has the better introduction arc. Okay. Still probably Yu Yu.
Let's see. I don't know if they're going to say how many chapters each have. Okay, Yu Yu has 51 chapters in what is called the Spirit Detective Saga.
Mm-hmm. I'd assume up until the end of the introductions for all of the main people. So yeah, the 3 items from Yu Yu, so you get your Kurama, your Hiei, and for Bleach, maybe even Soul Society, but I doubt it.
Can you please just
Wikia?
Just
Wiki?
Wiki? Okay, I looked up Substitute Soul Reaper arc, and they're talking about Tale of the Lost Agent. That's the first and only wiki that comes up. Come on!
Maybe it's called another arc. Just look up Bleach arcs.
My goodness.
Because maybe they called it something else.
I'm going to get a picture of an arc of Bleach going through the air or something. What you doing, Google?
It's going to be the McDonald arc. It's going to be Clorox.
This is
Bleach fans, y'all have been talking forever about the renaissance of Bleach. How do we not have a standardized look at the arcs of Bleach?
70 in the human realm.
Okay, yeah. So that's about analogous. So let's actually get into
Boy, it would really suck to use up all that time and he just instantly in the beginning, Yu Yu Hakusho, 50 chapters.
Also, this is sped up just a smidge.
As anyone who's read a half-decent shonen series would know, one of the key ingredients is a good old-fashioned fight scene. The best fights are often...
Not all shonen are battle manga, so it's not necessarily that's what is needed, but that's what a lot of your standardized, your casuals, your deeper than casual people look for in the battle manga. They want that hype. They want those battles. They want Dragon Ball, but better.
But even still, something like One Piece, obvious and so obvious. Top 3 arc was Egghead, and it had Luffy versus Kizaru, and that was about it. And
Egghead?
What did I say?
Egghead. Oh, Luffy versus Kizaru. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking Dogtooth category.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that had that one fight essentially. And category, not category. You got me up. Kizaru,
I did it.
Kizaru power scaling was nerfed. He was mentally nerfed. He didn't want to fight, so we don't even really have.
There's mental nerves.
Yes, of course. Of course, there's a mental nerve. If your grandma just fell down the stairs and then it's just like, all right, take this math test, you're not going to be focused on that math test because you're worried about your grandma, so you're mentally nerfed.
Or you push through.
Well, yeah, but I guess I don't know. But yeah, that wasn't a great example.
-1 grandma, -3 math skill.
Yeah. Grandma broke 16 bones in her hip. That's the X variable.
Of equally matched opponents with more similarities than differences. But those few differences are what truly define them. So I thought to myself, why not try and replicate that here? With that said, my name is Michael, and this is our first episode of Building the...
What was Vegeta's name in T23?
It was King Michael. There's
he just said his name is Michael.
I understand. And
he just showed Vegeta.
No. There's literally no way that these two things could coincide in such a way.
Are you certain?
I would end the channel myself. And then myself.
Why not try and replicate that here? With that said, my name is Michael, and this is our first episode of Building the Arc Versus, where I bring you the sweatiest anime coverage as we pit 2 arcs against each other to see which builds the arc better? Our fighters today are Yu Yu Hakusho's Spirit Detective Saga and Bleach's Substitute Shinigami Saga. Heaven or hell, let's see who survives.
Guilty Gear,
seem a little bit drastic? They're just manga. Whatever. I think you get the point. Before really getting knee-deep into this, I must explain that the final conclusion I come to at the end is my own, much like everything else I make. And me being a fucking smooth brain, I know that my conclusion is not going to please anybody. Whether...
It is, of course, always frustrating to us that everyone has to start their thing with this my opinion stuff. But I also understand. I'm still going to gripe about it.
Yeah.
But I understand.
If you say you're not going to please anybody, if you say Yu Yu Hakusho, you're going to please them. If you say Bleach, you're going to please them. If you say...
Maybe the reasoning he believes will not be...
Coming into here and going Yu Yu Hakusho, and then one of the things world building is like, oh crap, Yu Yu Hakusho's world wasn't that well built in the first arc. Bleach takes that. I'm gonna be like, all right, cool, Bleach. I mean, it's fine. It's words.
I'm trying so hard to find a connection between these two. I swear there is.
You're a Bleach fan or a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, someone's gonna bitch about something that I talk about in this video. But nonetheless, just, put that aside. I know how people can get, and I know how weebs can get. And I make that distinction because I think we all know that weebs don't actually count as people. Also, while we're here, I'll lay down some ground rules as to the format of this.
This is 1:25.
What's the problem?
Boy, you got 30 seconds to get into it.
kind of episode, since this isn't a typical building the arc. Right now I'm covering sagas much less than arcs, so it can get a little bit long-winded in some cases, but to keep things simple, I'm grading them on 5 different criteria unique to them due to the fact that they're both opening arcs. In other building the arc verses, these things will change depending on what I'm looking for. This time around, I'm basing it on which has the better introduction, characters, stories, action, and finally, how well they transition into their next arc.
Pause.
So with
Introduction. What does that mean? Are you talking about the first chapter? How well it introduces the world, and is it clunky? Is it just like, okay, this person got 8 chapters, this person got 1 chapter? I don't know what's gonna go to that. Characters. Yu Yu. Stories. Bleach. Because I like them going, Chad got his thing, or Hime got her thing.
I'm sorry. Some of that Yu Yu stuff is great.
I understand.
Take me instead of Karama.
I understand. Action, Yu Yu. Transition.
See, that's not fair.
Yeah,
because that's going to go to Bleach.
That's going to go right to Bleach.
Because it is basically a long setup to the coming arc, as opposed to, hey, we're gonna slide sweetly into that next arc.
And then introduction could go either way, depending. Well, let's hear what he qualifies as introduction.
that all cleared up, let me give you a brief history of each series we're looking at today. Beginning its run on December 3rd, 1990, Yu Yu Hakusho was written by Yoshihiro Togashi. After exploding in popularity early on, it quickly rose to the ranks of Inoue's Slam Dunk and Toriyama's Dragon Ball Z to form the original Big Three of Shonen Jump, which carried the brand from the late 80s and early 90s, known as their boom period. Now, I and many others place this series on a high pedestal of being one of the best shonens ever made, and just one of the best out of a decade of great shonen. The thing is, it is still an imperfect series, especially early on with its baby steps.
We've got to stop talking about things in terms of being a perfect or imperfect series, considering there is no true thing as perfection in the realm of media and media analysis. Nothing can do every single shot, every single second, every single thing perfectly.
It has somewhat of a rough opening, so I'm not going to let my bias of it being in my top 10 favorite anime of all time really sway my judgment here. Bleach began its
by virtue of being in your top 10, it is swaying your opinion, regardless of if you allow it to, or you can feel that sway happening. It is swaying your opinion in some way, shape, or form. Biases, and this is another thing we gotta let go of. Biases are not inherently negative nor positive. They just exist. Anything you go into with pre-existing knowledge of that genre, thing, whatever, is biased. It's fine.
Run on August 1st, 2001, written by manga's most tragic story, Tade Kubo. It's known for absolutely amazing artwork and being part of Shonen Jump's second Big Three, alongside Kishimoto's Naruto and Oda's One Piece. I don't actually have much of a history with Bleach. I'd only really started to read it a few months back, but I actually really love what I've read so far. Now, keep in mind, I'm only starting the Quincy Blood War arc, where most people, if they haven't said the Arrancar arc was bad at that point, they're like, this is really fucking bad, dude, just stop. And I gotta stick with it. I just gotta finish it. Just for the show, for the culture. I actually think that Bleach is a really interesting series, not to read, because it's still a good series with a lot of interesting things to work with, but the aura around Bleach is so much more interesting than the story.
Pause. This is back in 2019. Was aura a thing there, or are they using it as the kind of more intended use of vibe? What? I thought it was.
Did they like create aura?
I thought it was like a 2022 type of thing.
Maybe we just weren't. It was still below bubbling the surface. Like, you'll hear a lot of things coming from black people that you'll start hearing from other people like 2 years later. Black people were saying canceled like 3-4 years before it actually became a thing. So maybe this is just a young Muvs thing where they were saying Aura since 2018 and then the internet just adopted it 2021, 2022.
Like, my memory, because there's just 2 blank years of just nothing, so that's not fair. 2020 to 2022 didn't happen.
Because even if you have never read or watched or barely understand what Bleach is about, you know Bleach as Bleach. That series that everybody loved when it started and just...
Pause, but you can say that about a lot of things. Something like One Piece. People are going to be like wacky characters, super long. You're going to know if you're in the anime sphere, super popular anime, you're going to know about them through one meme, one Twitter thread, whatever it is, you're going to know about them. So
Muvs went and saw the Slam Dunk movie and probably never read a chapter of Slam Dunk and still went to go see it. Disagree. Slam Dunk is the greatest sports manga of all time.
Oh no, my child is burning! It's amazing that a series gigabotched itself so hard. As a wise Canadian man once said,
I don't think it gigabotched as much as just the steady decline. So it's so different from something like Naruto, where people still felt like there was quite a lot of quality until the final arc. My Hero, quite a lot of comedy.
People still consider there to be a lot of quality in the last war arc of Naruto.
Yeah, but my point being that even if you, by and large, say the final arc of Naruto is bad, the final arc of My Hero is bad, the final arc of Black Clover is bad, it is 20% of the series, 25% of the series, whereas by mid-Hueco Mundo, people were like, ooh, this is not feeling right. So we're talking 40 to 60% of the series instead. Even if Naruto had been at a steady decline since, I'm gonna say heavy, they don't see it that way until that final war arc. Even if My Hero has been at a steady decline since the first war arc, infiltration/war arc, people don't really see that. People really saw Bleach's shortcomings, but that was much earlier.
A lot to do had to do with the fake Katakura town, where it was 30v30, and it's just 29 people you've never seen pick up their sword before, and then 28 people that would be like, oh yeah, it's that dude. And then they're just clashing. So if you're there for like, oh, I'm the poison guy, here comes my poison. And like, oh no, how are they gonna get out of poison? You know, if you're there for that, you eating. But if you're not, you're just like, hey, can we get this poison bastard up out of here?
But at the same time, it needs to be characters you recognize and at least give 3% of a shout out. I don't need 10. I don't need 3% of them. When Mubs was resurrecting in Naruto, it was like, I know who this is. When they brought up the Hokages, Orochimaru versus third Hokage in that one, and then they came back later, you're like, I recognize it. I know what they're about. This poison, I don't know.
Poison. It's Wooly, two best friends.
I know Wooly. He's fighting game dude.
The Omega Flub. And that is so fascinating to read when you had no context on it beforehand. When you only know Bleach as being that series, and you read it, you're surprised with how good it starts, and how good it consistently stays for a long-ass time. If most shonen are getting bad, they're getting bad at around chapter 100, 150. And Bleach hits its highest being bad, they're getting bad at around...
That Fairy Tail got bad at second 100.
And that's part of what I'm saying. Like, Fairy Tail was not good for a longer time than chapter 150. But it took this tournament arc for this month to go, oh no, Fairy Tail ain't the... And, the attack on the Fin, I don't know, like, what's the guild?
Episode 100 was
Chapter 150, he said, I think.
Stays for a long ass time. If most shonen are getting bad, they're getting bad at around chapter 100, 150.
100, 150.
All right. Chapter 100 is
and also look into chapter 150. I'll look into that while you do that.
There's a brush it off, cries are all over tears. Is this the Tower of Heaven arc? Oh my goodness. It's like episode 30 or something. Oh, they was running through that. Yeah, no, episode 41. Tower of Heaven. Yes, the end of Tower of Heaven. No, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad quite before there, sir. What was 150?
150 was the Fire Dragon Slayer fighting Poison Slayer or something. It was right in the middle of Ration 6.
Oh, Ration 6!
With his power as the Cobra versus Natsu and Happy. And I wonder if that's what he means, since he showed that particular arc. So
no, he showed the tournament arc.
Oh yeah.
And Bleach hits its highest point at that time, which is insane to think that he gigged.
I disagree, considering how much longer Shonen would run back then. So things may hit their stride at chapter 120 back then, but chapter 120 is 80 chapters away from the end of a lot of currently running shonen titles.
Demon Slayer got 300?
I think it was like 232.
Who knows? We'll never be able to tell.
Update at the very end, you were at the goal line. How'd you do that, Kubo? No! But I digress. The thing is, reading Bleach in the modern day is kind of like the manga equivalent of a jump scare. I'm having fun now. I know it's gonna get bad, and that's what scares the fuck out of me when it jumps out at me. He's like,
so you're not allowing
205.
Goodness. So you're not allowing your bias of Yu Yu Hakusho to favor your opinion, but you're allowing the bias of how the stink is coming.
Yes.
And you're just like, ooh, when is it gonna get bad? I'm enjoying this, but how is this gonna turn bad?
You're not even allowing yourself to fully enjoy it because you're just waiting for the thing punch in the arm.
Bad character writing. It just doesn't work. By the way, I do fully intend to cover every Bleach arc on this channel so that you and I can walk through the decline of this series together and figure out where it actually does go wrong.
You were listening to that podcast about the people watching or reading Bleach or something, right?
Yes, chugging bleach.
When did they start feeling the turn?
Where the turn was felt.
Very good, very good. Were they watching the filler? No!
Chugging bleach is very good because you get to see them melt in real time as they chug their way through the Bount arc. And they have to explain what happens in the Bount arc. 3 episodes at a time. And
That's
nothing
torture.
happens.
That's torture.
Yes, it is.
That podcast sounds like what a dumb artist thinks our stream is, where we're just not really able to talk about the video. So it's 80% tangents and just having fun with others.
Great, love it.
Now, just taking a look at the small history I just gave, some similarities in the series begin to pop up right there. Both are wildly popular in Japan and have crossover success in America. Both carried the Shonen Jump brand for a while alongside 2 other famous series. Both are known for a decline in help in their respective authors, and both are notorious for having unsatisfactory, rushed endings. I can even get real petty with this and just give a vague plot synopsis. Try and guess which one I'm talking about. A high school-age youth who is missing at least one of his parents has his seemingly average life flipped upside down as he's thrust into a spiritual adventure alongside a mysterious girl in which he uses his powers to see dead people and other ghouls. And he uses
Botan is not mysterious. She lays out. She's quite. There's nothing that more that we learn about her than we learned in the first arc.
Maybe he means that otherworldly as opposed to mysterious.
Then say otherworldly because it's not mysterious.
He's to hunt demons alongside a meat-headed companion who he sometimes butts heads with.
Is Chad meat-headed?
No. Chad's very smart.
They don't really butt
Ichigo
heads
says,
either.
yeah, no, they don't. They love each other. They're the best of friends.
If that's the case, Kurama and Yusuke butt heads. Who doesn't butt heads at one point or another?
Ichigo, Ichigo doesn't fight demons.
Demons.
Then just say
this is what I said.
Yeah. Just say monsters.
Spiritual things.
Spirits.
Your answer is Yu Yu Hakusho, you're wrong! It's XXX Holic. Thanks for playing. I kid, but honestly, Bleach and Yu Yu Hakusho start off so similarly from a structural standpoint, it's almost comical in a way.
No, because you already noted that so many things are shown in have similarities, but it's the things that they do differently that makes them shine or whatever. The structure of these two things couldn't be more different. Yusuke died, and then it was just like, oh, now I got all this. Ichigo was this man from the jump.
The manner by which the parents were gone is different. I never even thought about the fact that they had only one parent. That's one of the things where it's just like, I need to look into this in order to find similarities. So you look at the friend group, you look at the parents, you look at the high school, the delinquency.
I wonder if people... Damn, Ichigo's not even a delinquent. I wonder if people, when they're YouTube critics, can only see things through the lens of critique. So whenever they're consuming media, they're looking at the similarities of other things. They're looking at the faults of XYZ.
Well, it could be that they go into it, you can go into it watching something, just going, I'm enjoying this. Hey, I'd like to talk about it. And then that part of your brain turns on. Or you go into it going, I know I'm going to talk about this, so I'm going in looking for things.
I mean, but that's a lot of YouTube critics, because it's not so much about trying to put out a comprehensive review or analysis video. It's more about the speed. It's truly, DSP was a pioneer in trying to get this out as fast as possible.
Now he's pioneering the drama content.
So when people... Moving forward. So when people search for that thing, they pop up super early in the algorithm because they got it out super early.
Getting the gang together opening saga is filled with team building exercises that make for good arbitrary comparisons such as this. Speaking of arbitrary comparisons, I think it's high time we jump into our first one, which is, which series has the better introduction?
He laid out his criteria and what this video is about, and it took him 6 minutes to talk about the first verses of the two.
And what did we learn more about that? I guess we learned that he was a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho and was rereading it versus watching or reading Bleach for the first time and having not finished Bleach.
But what are the similarities of the two even inform of the 5 things he's about to talk about?
I guess it could inform, like, this isn't talking about Bleach versus Speed Racer. They're roughly in the same genre of spiritual hunter of some sort. So
then at that point, why even there's no need to really note the differences until you start talking about this, nor the similarities till you start getting into the topics.
Yu Yu Hakusho starts off with a delinquent named Yusuke Urameshi getting hit by a car and dying trying to save a child. He's given an ultimatum to come back to life that he actually declines, but after seeing how much he meant to everyone at his wake, he takes up the offer, that is to perform good deeds to hatch a spirit beast. And if he performs evil or selfish deeds, he'll be punished with death by spirit beast. So with the help of the fairy woman of the underworld, Botan, he goes out on his quest to come back to life. Bleach begins with high schooler Ichigo Kurosaki just kind of fucking around in his house when a girl comes through his wall and jumps out just as fast. Since Ichigo can see spirits, he's instantly alerted to this and begins to follow her, where he sees her wounded by a monster called a Hollow. Seeing no other option, the girl reveals herself as a Shinigami, or Soul Reaper, named Rukia Kuchiki. She gives Ichigo some of her powers, and he fights off the Hollow, and a friendship begins. What did I mean by introductions? Well, what I'm specifically looking for is how well the author introduces us to our protagonist, and how they set ground rules for the series and its world.
Pause. That's Yu Yu Hakusho all the way. The fact that he saved the kid, the fact that he's just like, you can come back to life. He goes, there's no point to me being alive. Ain't nothing for me there.
Even to we didn't think you were saved, that kid. There was nothing happening there. But I don't understand how he can say those two things and then, unless he's going deeper into it, and then ignore like 60% of the chapter before Yusuke jumps in front of that kid, or before Ichigo meets Rukia, because Ichigo's walking around and he sees the little girl. But he might be talking
about this right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless he's going into it further.
They'll do a good job of characterizing their protags, but seeing the transformation from generic thug to heart of gold that Yusuke undergoes, while still keeping some of those delinquent tendencies of his, in only just a few chapters, is really something, and it's just a testament to how good of a writer Togashi really is.
No, he always had a heart of gold, because he yells at the kid, then tries to make him laugh, then he saved the kid when the people were like, when death itself is like, we ain't even think you would do that. Mm-hmm. So he's already seen as a better person than even the spiritual reapers of death could anticipate.
However long they've been around, however many people they've seen die, they're like,
however many people have just died by design or subverted the design.
I'm not saying Ichigo is unlikable or anything, but come on. Yusuke is like one of the great all-time shonen protagonists, and that scene at his wake with Kuwabara it always just yanks at my heartstrings. Ichigo just doesn't immediately endear himself quite in the same way that Yusuke does. On the other hand, when it comes to explaining the rules of the world and its powers...
And you see, that's the problem with doing a comparison like this. Mm-hmm. You mentioned a very good moment from Yu Yu Hakusho, but you don't mention an equally very good, and then go, okay, here's why this doesn't hit as hard. Mm-hmm. You just go, well, he's not just as endeared as Yusuke. Yusuke is one of the greats. What if somebody comes in and goes, obviously your opinion and all that, what if somebody goes, Ichigo is one of the greats? You're just going, he's one of the greats. He showcased his heart of gold. Ichigo showcased his heart of gold with the little dad kid in the beginning.
Yes.
Again, you gotta, if you're gonna do the comparison thing, you gotta do them to the point where people just go, wait a second. And that's really anything in terms of these analyst videos as I press play.
I think Bleach has it beat. Yu Yu Hakusho is great, but its power structure and all can be called generic. And
there's nothing wrong with generic, and it's almost no different than what's the difference between the Ryatsu and Spirit Energy?
Yeah. For the first arc, Ichigo swings sword.
Like, you got the Hollow Mask, sure, but for the most part, it's just
I'm the human realm.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no. There's no real difference between that and the Ryatsu.
I can understand where that sentiment of saying it's generic comes from, because objectively it's just energy and demons and shit, and that's really it. The only thing that ever gets a rule...
You have the 3 items that get stolen that can ferry people's souls, grant a wish at the cost of your soul, and greatly enhance your abilities.
The ring that greatly enhances his abilities, yeah, it's just... There are things. Yeah.
Set to it is the Spirit Gun, or Ray Gun if you're a Super Weeb. And that's really it. Most characters just do what they do because they can do it. While in Bleach, you slowly learn alongside Ichigo the inner workings of a Shinigami's life, their responsibilities, their powers, their relationships with other groups such as Quincy.
But you see the bureaucracy of the spirit world. And how it's not just these Grim Reapers, it is a business. There's paperwork and all this.
Kurama is the demon thief fox. Like, there are things within the spirit world that are being showcased more than just the blank demons and death gods and detectives that go after them.
And by the time you're at the end, you've learned so much, it just feels natural to you, because Ichigo was learning the same thing with you.
But so was Yusuke!
Yes. We don't know what spirit. He gets the ring and he's like, what's this? And then Botan explains it. Koenma's just like, hey, this is what this item does. This is what this item does. This is what this item does.
They go like, EA, they're like, you got the eye implanted?
The Jagan eye.
What do you mean it feels natural?
His character a little bit more relatable. Well, Yusuke, you kind of figure things out before he does.
How if everything that we see is also alongside him?
I don't know what you're talking. Unless, like, he's basically going. Bleach is throwing more things at us, so it wins, as opposed to you, Hakusho, which you just kind of get what you get. But that's not true because it throws quite a few things at you. The people can just do what they do. So can the Shinigami. Ichigo rocks up, fights Hollows. The Hollows just do what they can do. Ichigo just does what he can do.
One point in and I've already hit my first split. While I adore the way Yu Yu Hakusho opens up on a narrative level, I just like how fleshed out and structured Bleach's world is.
No! The only thing you like is that it showcases things that are being formed as opposed to things that are already there and Yusuke's learning about them. Like, Chad's arm is being formed at that moment, so we get to learn about it. We learn about the Quincy's through an already established thing. Orihime's abilities, they manifest, so we get to learn about them and what they can do. That's what you like. Hey, this person gets this special thing. This person gets that special thing. Whereas the demons and the fighters in here already, for the most part, have their special thing, and we're just seeing them for the first time.
But also, you can look at it like you get the introduction of spiritually aware people, and Kuwabara's the tickle feeling and hopping into people's dreams. Things like that, how the spirit world interacts with the actual living world. Don't destroy your body, otherwise you'll have nowhere to go back to. What happens when the spirit
didn't even talk about the emotion of everything with the crying scene for Kuwabara and Keiko and all that.
Might be with the character, so
with him throwing the egg and but this is all introduction stuff. Like, this all informs the introduction.
The main character. That's a big choice for him.
He couldn't even find an Ichigo that was in a white background.
Look, it's almost impossible.
Decisive, I've got to give the point to both series.
We can't get a tie.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe that's why he's gonna piss everybody off, because he's just gonna total line.
You made the format. The introduction was the main character and the world and the setting and all that stuff. Why don't you just have a third category to be like, all right, tiebreaker?
Or go out of 10, this gets a 9 and this gets a 6 in terms of its, or 5 since it's generic, whereas Bleach gets 7 for the character and stuff, but like a 9 in terms of all the stuff we get, so it wins.
Because I cannot believe that you find these two things equal when you reread Yu Yu Hakusho. Obviously taking your bias out of the equation, but rereading something, you can see things that you didn't see the first time that you got in. Little looks that people give. It's not very good, is it?
It's also not. The volumes I thought were okay, I no longer think they're okay.
Legitimately, it's crazy. I have a lot to say about RWBY. I have a lot to say. But yeah. A lot of things like that. Yeah, like in RWBY. Volume 3, when Crow was first introduced, he's drinking and he just like, yeah, keep the change. the barman picks up the glass and then drops it, and he goes, oh dang, and they move on. And then we don't learn about his bad luck until the next volume, but it's set up there. And I was just like, I never even realized that. I was like, that's
another
good.
thing.
That's good.
RWBY is so many that's good in an ocean of this is either mediocre or outright horrendous
muffin burger, but this some crisp lettuce and this ketchup. Hey, wait a second, it's got some twang to it.
The tie is arbitrary, yeah, but honestly, the way the two sagas introduce their respective series are great in their own ways.
You can't. Everything's great in its own way. You might as well just close the video and go, yeah, Ichigo, Yusuke's great, but Ichigo's great in his own way. Shrug shoulders, time.
If I thought equally 10 and 10 for the introduction, I was like, I'm cutting it and I'm doing comedy or something that would have a definitive winner, especially for the first thing. You're coming in just like, all right, yeah, I got all these criteria and stuff, but it's a tie. So moving on.
If I thought they were both 10s, I would read them again and go, what do I dislike or find bad about them, so I can start marking points against them and go, I feel like this detracts it, even if it's just 0.2 here, 0.1 here, 0.5 here.
Read all of it and then go back to the beginning and just go, well, this didn't really go anywhere. Heck just shows up and doesn't really show up in all of Bleach proper until the
and yeah, you might end up with a 8.6 versus an 8.4, but at least you can go, okay, there's a clear person.
It's a winner. Come on now.
On a more character-centric affair, and the other more structural and lore-building focused. Due to my inability to pick a favorite son, the score is tied at 1-1.
Crazy.
Next up is characters. Who has the better main cast?
Howard is.
For Bleach, we have Ichigo, Rukia, Chad, Orihime, Urahara, and finally Uryu. I love this cast, especially Chad and Urahara.
The worst possible? Chad? He's Chad. Have you watched the Red Bleach? He's Chad.
He ain't doing nothing.
He sucks.
He not doing nothing. He not being nothing.
There was a 3 or 4 episode fight with a chick named Sandwich.
He might just love calm, cool guy.
But he
calm, stoic, cool guy.
He
gets silly at times.
Chad gets silly.
Disagree.
I love how each member is introduced to the group. I love the mentor role that Urahara.
How were they introduced?
What made them great? What made the introduction
What's good about the mentor role?
I remember Cass was about a parrot or something. Who cares? They would like the spirit of his grandfather or something.
This muff could draw some costume. That dress is so simple.
Yes.
But it's so nice.
It's the stripe not being vertical or horizontal to the slant, and then the little red icon in it. It's a really good
This muff can draw some muff in the outfits.
Plays. I just love how they bounce off of each other. I just love this group. So the next point goes to Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, do I even really need to explain?
But they're great in their own way. Why not give them both a point?
In myself here? Fine. Yu Yu Hakusho has my money for top 3 most memorable casts in all of shonen manga. Let's do a quick run through in case there's...
So the Bleach casts are not memorable?
Nope.
Even though you said all of those things? What makes these people more memorable than the Bleach people?
He likes it more.
Some dweebist out of me, alright? Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei, Kurama, Botan, Genkai, Koima. I can keep going.
You just named characters. You didn't
like you did with Bleach.
You didn't even name what makes them great. Please just explain yourself.
But I'm gonna stop because I'm about to turn into a Pokemon rap. This section of the episode is unnecessary because everyone knows how great Yu Yu Hakusho's cast is.
You didn't even really talk about how great Bleach's was to just go understand the points going to Yu Yu but then why would you even have the rundown of what these series are if you're not even going to explain what's great about the characters because everyone knows?
And everybody knows Yu Yu Hakusho's cast is amazing, but isn't this your own personal list?
Yes. What do you find amazing about them? Why are they more amazing than the Bleach cast?
Boy, Bolton and Keiko look so AI.
Yeah.
But this is 2019. They would have had 3 arms each.
Everyone knows how much fun they are individually, and they just create this irresistible chemistry together.
But that was a praise that you had for Bleach, that you loved how the characters play off of each other.
Yes, it was.
So you just love this one more. So it's possible to have equal feelings about something in terms of, I like this for this reason, I like this for this reason, but then still one of them comes out on top. But why couldn't you do that with the introduction?
Because there were 2 criteria there. There's no criteria. There's no sub-criteria for this one.
I love...
Because he didn't go, oh, what do I mean by characters? I mean this. No, he just went, they're great, but not as great as these great.
Ichigo's friends in that group. But they can get on my nerves. Especially Orihime, a.k.a.
Early Orihime was some of the best out there. What is he talking about? Her drawing that fit robot was amazing.
A worst girl. Yeah, I said it. This also doesn't mean that Yu Yu Hakusho's cast is
No, based on what though? Why didn't you like her? Was she too silly? Was she too not serious in times where it should be serious? Was it the brother arc that she had where it was just like, well, she's not really learning anything from this? Did you not like her powers? What about her?
I do have issues with them, such as how Hiei and Kurama are introduced, and sometimes Koenma and Keiko can be a bit annoying. But for now...
But that was what you levied against Orihime! You gotta understand! You had the same argument except you had 2 people instead of 1! You marked more negatives against Yu Yu!
You did more positives for Bleach, like the mentor, and you didn't even mention Genkai.
He did, in the big list of...
Well, in terms of specifically naming.
Oh, the score is 2-1 in Yu Yu Hakusho's favor. When it comes down to stories told within...
He's done.
Yeah,
we're on to the next thing.
Yep.
In both sagas, it's that endless fight of quantity versus quality. Bleach definitely has more stories with its intro arc, Orihime arc, Chad arc, Don Kanonji arc, Ichigo's backstory, and the Shinigami Quincy contest arc. And in a rare case, these are all better than Yu Yu Hakusho's combined. Now, the arcs in Yu Yu Hakusho, some of them stand out and some of them are just kind of weak. Again, Yusuke's ordeal is great, and it really makes you feel for his character. And the invasion of Tarukane's manor is just a great, solid arc. But things like the Saint Beast...
The 4 Saint Beasts? He's way past the human introduction!
Yeah. Wait a second. I'll just look up when Toguro was introduced, because I'm not going to find the manner and when that was. You can't even... You can't.
You can't?
You
can, though. I wish he would have laid out how much he was weighing these 2 series against each other. Like the first 250 chapters, because I don't know what...
That's why I said, when he said first arc.
But I gotta assume that's just for the introduction.
No, it is chapter 48.
Okay.
Was introduced, so
shut you up.
Yeah, it's still within the saga, okay.
And Genkai's tournament, they just really don't do anything for me, more or less because they're just kind of boring.
Crazy.
The Genkai tournament where he won by falling into some muck.
Yes.
The darkness he had to go through.
Yes.
The
winning because of the cigarette being flicked.
Yeah.
Good there.
The manner where it's just like, oh yeah, we beat him. He's like, no, you didn't. He let you do that shit. He ain't got a sister. That's not doing anything for you. Will we get anything
all
other
of
than
the 4 Saint Beasts?
All of them. Sacrificing his life and going, I did this once, here you go again.
This is a definite case of personal bias, but just hear me out. The problem I have with the opening parts of Yu Yu Hakusho is I just hate the getting the band together trope of collecting your protagonist. I mentioned it a bit earlier.
That's what happened in Bleach.
Yeah. What are you?
Why do you hate that?
Yeah.
I'm fine with getting the band together, and I'm fine with a person being plopped into an already known band. I don't think in terms of I hate this trope.
Earlier, but in Bleach it feels
Except mech. Genre though, but mech.
so natural when a new member joins the group. Mentioned it a bit earlier, but in Bleach it feels so natural when a new member joins the group.
I'm Uryu, and I can also fight these creatures.
And I fight them differently than you. As opposed to, it is established that Kuwabara has spiritual awareness. So he would reasonably go into the tournament. Here are these two enemies.
Invited.
The two enemies, they're coming back because they're super strong. And we need them.
As opposed to Bleach, which 80% of the group is already friends with Ichigo anyway.
Because they've all known each other for quite a while.
Oh, that's the positive. They've known each other, so it's natural when we collect them and they unlock their powers so they can go to the big thing.
Ichigo, Chad, Orihime, they've known each other.
Yes. Uryu no.
Uryu no.
Urahara no.
Urahara no. Rukia no.
Yoruichi no.
No.
And you're showing Rukia while doing this that they've known each other, unless he says something else.
It's natural when a new member joins the group because they've all known each other for quite a while, and they all come together at once at a pretty good time. There's no faffing about of, will they join? Will they be enemies? Will they be friends? Even characters like Uryu, who are hostile towards the other members, still join the group, and
there was no faffing about for Yu Yu Hakusho because he talked to Kurama, he saved Kurama, and then Kurama came help the very next arc. The most you can say is Hiei, in that, I don't know if he'll stick around, but he's like, I got to do, so I'm gonna be around.
Even if there was faffing about, what is the problem with faffing about?
Yes, will they join, will they not join? That's part of the fun of the thing.
You get different aspects of their character as they're deciding whether to join. What does Yusuke do to convince them to join? And then that tells you what Yusuke values versus what the person values.
On top of the tension created when you've got something like the boulder scene where he aged the fastest, so they hold up the boulder to let him go push it up, and he's like, I don't know if I'm even gonna do that. And it's like, will he let them die? I don't know.
No question about that. We don't have an arc dedicated to getting Uryu back because we need him. Uryu goes because
there's an arc to get Rukia back.
There is. Yes, there is.
And there's an arc to get Orihime back.
There's also that arc.
Strictly because they need her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. What's the problem?
Motivated. That's the thing. He and Kurama just kind of joined because they have to. And
no! Look what happened here! Kurama joined because he was friends with Yusuke! Because Yusuke saved his mother's life and his life!
That is also another good thing for Yusuke, where Kurama goes, all right, I'm gonna sacrifice my life. And then he hops in and just goes, we sacrifice half of our lives each. And we
no, he didn't even say that! He said, you take me! And the mirror was like, I love the sacrifice. I love the vibes off you guys. No taking of souls. And you get your win. I love you guys. I'm out. And then the mirror comes into play during this fight.
Do it, and it's a mess sometimes.
What?
Join because they have to and just do it, and it's a mess sometimes.
I don't think this person is very good in media literacy if he thinks that Kurama was forced to do anything. At least in terms of what he showed, Kurama was there because he wanted to be.
And Bleach also doesn't hit that point of, okay, we got our characters together, now we gotta build the team up. Like, the Same Piece Saga is really guilty of making sure every single audience member knows that Kuwabara is the muscle-bounded meathead. Hiei is the edgelord, too cool for you tsundere.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are they showcasing their characters when they're together?
Yes. These are these people. How can you not show? You're showing them. And you're like, oh, they're dedicated to showing. It's like, Muff, they're just showing them, and these are their personalities coming through.
This isn't team building. It's character exploration.
And character the airhead. Rukia's got silly moments, but for the most part, she's super serious about a lot of these things.
You call Chad the same as Kuwabara.
Kurama is the sweet but also strong one. Yusuke is the rambunctious rebel who's...
Yeah, if you say anything with a boring, afflected voice, it's gonna sound boring.
Really strong and the super strength. Bleach just kind of does things. And it feels so natural. It's such a...
You keep saying natural, and you're not even showcasing it when we've got to go, Chad, what is your character arc? Will my grandfather and this parakeet and I will protect?
My arm.
Or Hime, what is your character arc? Well, my brother, and he was going to protect me and he couldn't. So now these things will.
Sense of flow with its stories. Everything, while not flowing directly into each other, they feel natural, happening one after another. Watching and reading...
Hey, I'm gonna meet Chad today. He's gonna unlock his power. I'm gonna meet Orihime today. She's gonna unlock his power. I'm gonna go fight this hollow and meet a new friend that already has their power unlocked. And now the mentor's here.
That's pretty natural. Pretty natural.
Yu Yu Hakusho nowadays, people often criticize it for being too formulaic, which is a cowardly way of saying it's old and I'm a baby. All of the opening arcs in Yu Yu Hakusho are typical now, but at the time they did set those standards. But if I were basing this arbitrary contest off of historical and cultural importance, then the Anglo-Zanzibar War would have won for the better arc already. But it didn't now, did it? As for now, the score is tied up at 2.
Crazy.
We're getting that hot tie.
No, we are getting Bleach winning.
Impossible.
As I mentioned at the top of the video, action is one of the core tenets of a shonen manga, and up until now, I haven't really spoken much about how action really influences a series. Yu Yu Hakusho is renowned for having some of the best shonen fights put to page, and they really are something. Problem is, most of them are in the next arc and not in this one. Meanwhile, Bleach gives the audience a fine mix of all sorts of battles. All the hollows Ichigo encounters are unique in both design and personality, and
are you saying that the spirits that Yusuke, the tournament that they have that happens, is not unique? All you see is going again. Yu Yu Hakusho has amazing fights in the next arc, not this one. You don't talk about how any of the fights in this one are not good in any way. What isn't good? How could they be improved?
Are you saying that Suzaku and Rondo are the same? No.
But in Bleach, it's just like, yeah, there was a lot of unique hollows, and then there's a lot of good fights, and it's natural.
All of them speak to some aspect of the character they're related to. This dynamic gives every encounter a much more engaging feeling, and hooks...
No, it gives it artificial feeling by going, Orihime, your brother,
Yeah, the brother that died 6 years ago. He's just here now.
The audience from the first couple of steps, and just never lets go. The fights in the opening parts of Yu Yu Hakusho feel passé. Even in its heyday, the fights come off as somewhat bland when compared to something like Dragon Ball Z. The thing is, there are still great fights.
Why are you comparing it to Dragon Ball Z?
When they're flying around and exploding planets with a ball, and he's standing around, he's got 8 eyes on him. He's like, yeah, I can see you, bitch.
In those opening arcs. Mainly the fight with the Toguro brothers against Kuwabara and Yusuke, and the fight that Kuwabara has against the second Saint Beast. For me, this comes down to the fact that Kubo is just a better artist than Togashi is. All of Kubo's fights have this fantastic sense of speed, weight, and above all, impact.
These buzzwords. Okay.
Also,
all
Persona
Kubo's
Music.
Fights have this
Persona 4, though.
Fantastic sense of speed, weight...
Speed. He stopped. He's skidding to a
there's the
stop.
line skidding.
Yeah, he's skidding to a stop.
Yeah, and then there's the sound effects. It's,
Wait.
Wait. Heavy slash. I don't know what the weight is meant to convey here. They're talking.
It could just be a heavy feeling of a weight, just like
But that's more the
pressure, the oppression.
Yeah, but that's a feeling based on the situation. That's tension and stuff, as opposed to the art.
Yeah.
Above all, impact.
What's the impact? He did some slashes. As a person that is not in his art bag, when people say things like speed, weight, impact, they mean very little to me because I don't know what you in particular
Especially
are talking
when
about.
you don't showcase them properly.
Yes.
Like when we did our canceled manga thing, and I just went, "This is the greatest panel that I've ever seen," and I talked about how the star moves over here, and how
your
the
eyes
jump
follow.
Yeah, I talked about that in great detail. And again, just like you, I'm not in that bag of this is what it is, but I saw that and I just went, "Holy!"
I can talk about
I can properly explain it. It's a lot of things in my life where it's just like background music. I don't really care unless it's super good or super bad.
Yes.
If it is in the 7 to 8 range, it's just like, yes, it's there, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
And it was the grimmest day in history.
Like, hold a second.
That's not appropriate.
But you're going, this has impact. I'm like, in what way does this have impact?
That impact you feel on every panel of a Bleach fight draws you into it. Kubo's fights are structured very Star Wars-like, not in how they're portrayed, but what they mean. More often than not, a Bleach fight is an argument, a war of two thought processes that is reflected in how characters often move, pose, and strike differently from each other. All fights in the beginning of Bleach are often just Ichigo versus a hollow, which is portrayed as a quiet voice against a loud scream, which creates this underdog story that Ichigo follows throughout the entire series. Ichigo always being that quiet, rational voice always gives the audience something to root for, because they know that in that argument a loud screech will always drown it out, but in some way Ichigo always manages to pull out a win, which makes his fights even better at the end when you get that sense of catharsis.
Are you talking? What were them? What?
That was some of the. That is Mark-esque word salad of silent screams, and the screams will be weighed out by the whistle.
Silent. I don't feel that catharsis from the silence of Ichigo versus the screeching of Hollow. And you can't talk about these things being clash of like ideas and wants or whatever you said when you're talking about nearly mindless hollows that just need to be put down.
While I do have some soft spots for Yu Yu Hakusho, its opening fights aren't one. With that, the score is now 3-2 in Bleach's favor. Finally, we come to a fairly unique category for opening arcs, and that's how well these arcs transition into the next major story.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
for
this
Bleach,
one.
that's how well we enter into the Soul Society arc, and for Yu Yu Hakusho, how we're challenged to face the Dark Tournament saga.
Oh, but with the castle,
With Toguro. Still,
I made this
it might even be a tie.
it might be a tie.
category specifically for these two arcs, since I know for a fact it would be the hardest to come to a conclusion for, but besides the bullshit tie I made up earlier. This needs a sufficient answer, and I will just drop all pomp and circumstance and be upfront with it. Bleach wins this category. Now the harder part is to answer why. Let me lay out a
I'm dabbing, y'all.
good transition. 1, we get a clear idea of what the oncoming threat is. 2, we relate to our
Yu Yu
protagonist's
Hakusho.
struggle as they prep for this threat.
Yep,
And
Yu Yu
3,
Hakusho.
we have a good reason to go beyond, this is a threat that will hurt me, the protagonist.
Yep, Yu Yu
Maybe if I
Hakusho.
work backwards, this will make more sense. So let's observe Yu Yu Hakusho's transition. We get a fantastic fight between the Toguro brothers and the team of Yusuke and Kuwabara. This ends in a win for Team Spirit Detective, but as they leave, we find out it's a farce, and the Toguros just jobbed for them, more or less. The younger Toguro confronts Yusuke a while later, roughs him up a bit, and then vanishes, threatening that if Yusuke doesn't show up at the Dark Tournament, he's, as the academics would say, fucked. Now, let's look at our checklist. We have a clear idea of what the threat is, aka a demon tournament, And we have a good reason to go since not
No, the threat is I will kill your people.
tournament he's,
I'll kill you now.
as the academics would say, fucked. Now, let's look at our checklist. We have a clear idea of what the threat is, aka a demon tournament, and we have a good reason to go since not only will Yusuke be fucked, but everyone he cares about will be too. It's that middle part that we miss. We know that Yusuke struggles when he trains with Genkai, we've seen it before, and he just trains off screen. We already had a training arc in a way with Yusuke and Genkai, but a really good training arc not only expands our characters' ability, but also their personalities. That struggle the audience witnessed.
Oh, it did not expand Ichigo's personality. He had a talk with his inner hollow, and then he was the same guy coming in that he went in as.
And does it necessarily have to expand their personality?
I think, again, the Rasengan training is one of the best training arcs I've ever seen. I don't think it did anything for Naruto's personality. It just showcased it to a new person. He was still Naruto.
I think this is just artificial bush
to make Bleach win!
Yep.
Which I also think the first one was about!
Is during a good training arc, puts them in the shoes of the protagonist and really gives them that oomph that they care for this character.
No!
All these butt meatless butt oomph natural. It's like, what?
A good training arc doesn't put me in the shoes of the protagonist. I don't give a shit what the protagonist is doing vis-a-vis me. This is back to the relatable bullshit. I don't give a
Yeah.
What I am looking at please me? Entertainment-wise, quality-wise, what have you. If so, that's enough for me. The oomph or whatever, the training arc of Undead Unluck, and love it. The various training arcs of Slam Dunk, awesome.
Because he's trying his goddamn best to be the best that they are. That is what good training arc succeeds. A bad training arc fails in that way and just makes us watch a character do tough things and that's it. That's boring. Nobody wants to see that. But if that struggle is real and that struggle is human, then people will latch onto a good training arc and not even think of it as what is ostensibly canon filler. When you look at Bleach, we see...
No, but you didn't explain how it did that. Her going, you gotta stand up on your finger for all this time. All right, now do it for longer. They were going up a mountain.
No, that was a training arc before. It doesn't count because it wasn't a training arc for Tagoro.
Dudes rolling up on Rukia after the invasion and subsequent repelling of the Menos Grande, questioning her about a bunch of Shinigami stuff that we don't quite understand. Hearing his friend may be in danger, Ichigo rushes out and confronts Byakuya and Renji, and gets his fucking teeth kicked in. Ichigo up until this point has been portrayed as a loose cannon.
Okay, so if you want to talk about people getting their teeth kicked in, Tagoro says when they fought them, and they beat him, he was at 20%. Then he showcases the 60%. And Yusuke falls to his knees.
What power?
He's like, whoops.
I don't want to do this no more.
All right, I quit. Can I hit their severance package or?
You need half my soul for all eternity? What do I got to do to get out of this contract?
And who always managed to pull it out at the end. But here, he just gets destroyed.
But you could say the same for Yusuke, because a lot of times he was on the back foot or face down in the dirt and basically won by a lot of luck.
They had to make a combo attack to fake beat Tagoro.
Against Hiei, he saw the mirror and that just happened to be in a good enough spot to blast it and bounce off and hit Hiei. Otherwise, that's an L.
Didn't he lose to the big dude first time? And
Botan was like, hey, what's going on over there with a bunch of fake voices and spirits? And the guy was like, I don't want none of that human smoke. Peaced out. And then it's like, I saved your life. Don't go fighting him again. And that's what he did, the stick in the mouth spirit gun.
And he also, was willing to kill himself to beat.
And his life beat.
Yeah.
But we get that hint of, whoa, maybe there's more to Ichigo than we think, from Renji. who comments that his unrestrained energy from his Zanpakuto is cluing the audience in that maybe Ichigo is a little bit stronger than he's letting on. Zanpakuto,
How's it possible?
from Renji, who comments that his unrestrained
How's it possible to have a sword that big? Okay, this is the, if you want to count Rukia, we got Rukia, Renji, and Byakuya and his. So we have 4 examples of swords. This is my problem with Attack on Titan, where the first Titan that we see is the Colossal Titan. They go, we ain't never seen no Titan that big. It's
but
like,
we don't have a scale.
We don't have a scale. So, and also Renji's sword can detach itself.
Awesome.
Are there other swords that can do that? So it can just be, this is just a different sword than what other people have.
Also, his captain has a very thin sword and unbelievable spirit energy. So this sword bush don't mean nothing.
The Zanpakuto size reflects the amount of the swordsman's spiritual power. So it's big. So it's not even saying, it's not even like a mystery. It's just going, his mom got a lot of it, but he got a lot more. So, but his sword is thin.
Yes.
So what are we doing here?
Renji remarking this, I mean, means nothing. Renji got a big sword too.
Yeah, I mean,
energy from his Zanpakuto.
Soy Fawn, she just got a little, I think she also got a sword, but it's not necessarily big. What captain has a big sword?
Even Kenpachi's is small and he's radiating with energy. He can't control that.
Let's look at Yamamoto's sword. Why would I remember that? Just a red blade. Just a normal sized red blade. See, this is the type of thing that you look back on and just go, well, that didn't really go anywhere, because you've got people with smaller swords that have amazing, more spiritual power.
Yes.
Is cluing the audience in that maybe Ichigo is a little bit stronger than he's letting on. He just needs to know a way to control it. And that control is going to come back.
This is the art of breaking.
But then his Bankai is small.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Like Rukia, who's funny, kind, and overall really likable, just drag Ichigo through the mud after he attempted to save her. That hits the audience in a really weird way where
we know what's going on there.
Yes. It is. I am saving your life.
Shut up and accept my death and your life. This is the most obvious thing.
Just confuses Ichigo.
Especially after all the worry she had from the last panel you showed.
And as it seems that all hope is lost for the substitute Shinigami, and just having his strength taken from him and being left for dead, we see Urahara, and we know for a fact that things are about to pop off. This training arc is how you do it.
That's not a training arc!
It's not a training arc!
And it's not even a training arc, it's a get your powers back arc! By doing this thing that's gonna forcibly draw it out of you, and if it doesn't, you're gonna die! And he sits in a hole and talks to himself!
Cause after Yusuke falls to his knees in despair, he goes to Genkai and goes, I need you to train me. I got 2 months. So how is this not, gonna get serious when they had to trick a dude to fake kill him at 20%? He shows off 60%. Yusuke just like, there's 40 more percent? And he's like,
prideful Yusuke who wouldn't ask for help, who was like, bowed his head to Genkai like, please train me or I'm finished.
Everybody's finished.
Hey, give me some of that power or I'm cooked. You gotta understand, please.
Parallels Yu Yu Hakusho perfectly, as it shows more of what Ichigo is up to than what his friends are up to. That struggle with his inner hollow and his Zanpakuto really puts the audience behind Ichigo in full support of his rescue mission.
But I'm also in support of Yusuke's rescue mission in the 4 Beasts arc of Keiko.
While we're catching brief glimpses of Chad, Orihime, and the reluctant Uryu, all training with or in the general vicinity of Yoruichi.
I don't think that the inclusion of a training arc is a good lead-in into the next arc.
No, I don't as well.
To this, we also have a full and complete understanding that the threat of Rukia dying is very real, but we're also left in the dark as to what the inner workings of the Soul Society actually are, just like our main cast. So everything they encounter is a new dilemma for them.
Pause. But they go, join this tournament. You know nothing about the tournament, so that's a whole new dilemma. When they rock up, they just go, all right, everybody fight. And whoever wins gets on the boat.
Yeah, it's a battle royale. They thought they were just going to the island.
Audience as well, which causes us to feel more for our characters. And finally, that motivation to save Rukia by all means necessary puts Ichigo in a position where this is more than just a pride thing. This is a real ass mission to do what's right by them. And that's what I think hooked.
As opposed to, I'ma die and everyone I care about is gonna die. The want to save Rukia is real, but Yu's case isn't.
Many readers back in the early 2000s, and what really sunk them into one of the best arcs ever with the Soul Society. Just like that, we have our first winner of building the arc verses, and that is Bleach's substitute Shinigami-sama.
Yeah!
This is legitimately gross.
Amazing.
Gross.
We both agree.
Gross.
We a tie and then a bullshit reason to give Bleach the victory. How it leads into the next arc.
Planning stages of this video, I thought beyond a shadow of a doubt Yu Yu Hakusho would win. But the more I thought about it, the opening motions of Bleach are just so much more focused and refined. It makes 70
refined. This is the first time that you've said that word or alluded to anything of the sort.
Would you like natural?
By engrossing the audience in the world it creates and the characters that inhabit it. I know
Yu Yu Hakusho didn't do that?
Fact. Someone out there is mad as hell right now. And that's my editor. But nonetheless, this is just my opinion. As a series overall, I like Yu Yu Hakusho way more than Bleach. But I thought it would be fun to do this little exercise to shed some light on what I think makes a really fantastic opening arc. Since, as of right now, the time for beginnings is over, as we enter the next phase of building the arc. And trust me, we are going to spend a long ass time in the next chapter of my show. And to kick off the shit gets real saga of building the arc is Hunter x Hunter's York New City arc. With that, my name is Michael, this has been Building the Arc, I'll see you next time. Get excited.
Hey, this York New was horrible.
It was fine.
Horrible.
But I don't know what you value.
Okay.
I'm all about that city pop life.
9.5?
9 sounds about right.
9.5.
This is the pure and simple explain yourself, you baby.
And the lack of want to do so
always gets me because I really don't understand. And y'all will understand in the next month or so what I'm talking about when I say explain yourself, you baby really, really gets to me. Because it's bonkers how you can just go natural and move on.
the speed, weight, and
impact. And just show a normal panel. And don't show any fighting from Yu Yu Hakusho to be like, this feels, you don't really feel this
weak,
shit.
tepid, and girly new sissy. Yeah, 9.5. RWBY on Saturday, y'all. RWBY on Saturday. Bumblebee.
Do not get excited.
Agreed.
Oh boy.
But I look forward to talking about Bumblebee.
Yes, at the very least.
The rest of this, I hope he focuses on Bumblebee.
I regret watching it the way that I did. I wish I would have just went, all right, I'm gonna just watch all the Bumblebee scenes. I don't need all that other shit.
Hey, you know what I did? Like 3 weeks ago. Google Bumblebee scene supercut. There wasn't a good enough version of one.
Not. But what I did do, because I watched RWBY some month and a half, 2 months ago, I'm just like, I don't remember. So I did recently go back and just watch the Bumblebee stuff.
It is not the Bumblebee stuff until
this month got some heavy lifting to do. He's gonna be like every little look, every interaction,
every coy smile or something.
Every time they're standing next to each other, it's gonna be until that volume 5, the end of volume 5. Oh, dude, RWBY is
It's like they knew what the fans wanted in the writing of season 5, and they went, I think it's time we start really laying these breadcrumbs
But
out.
we haven't done anything up until this point. Well, why start now?
Yeah, so let's do a little more than nothing.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to start now, and then everything can be recontextualized as love.
Yeah, she's gonna stroke her hair in volume 7, and that'll get them going.
Does that mean that they're together? No, yes.
It means the hair was stroked, so there's something there.
Hey, they're holding hands. So? Does that mean, are you gonna do or say anything with this?
Are they crossing the street or something?
Aren't we doing something right now by showing them holding hands?
Look, we're having an issue understanding how to take the next step. So, wait a minute. Listen to this, guys. There's a bridge.
Why would there be a bridge?
It's a fairy tale world, but we're not gonna say that because it is, but it's not. Okay, it's Snow White, but it's not. It's mud
Alice
black.
in Wonderland.
Yeah, it's Travis in Wonderland. Shut up. I don't care.
Why would the bridge?
Huh?
What? How are we getting them into this situation? Are they just gonna be standing there and then RWBY and Yang are gonna turn their head and then they're just disappeared or something? That sounds stupid.
Why? Why does that sound stupid? It's a fantasy world.
But why are they together?
They're not until they are.
Oh no. I've misjudged their relationship. Me, the writer. Here's this place where we gotta fight our fears or our doubts and get it
And overcome them. And everyone's overcoming them. Except RWBY. But that doesn't matter because we only care about Bumblebee in this instance. And their doubts is the doubt of being together, I guess.
Hey, what about the fact that she a coming. She got powers and she's a coming, and then here comes the big whale lady and she's a coming. This is the biggest. Are y'all ever gonna get home? Should y'all worry about that? This guy's been here for some 20 odd years and he's been just by himself talking to a piece of paper
until these 2 school students bang, okay?
But why would the world
why wouldn't it? It's a fantasy world.
They just murdered her ex. So wouldn't there be some kind of trauma with getting into another relationship that would be some sort of trepidation?
Maybe that's volume 10. They rushed their relationship, and now
we can't just take this back. We spent 3 volumes implying that we're putting out breadcrumbs. We can't just start putting out breadcrumbs.
We dug in a bag and threw the things down, and the things were just air, but it looks like breadcrumbs are being put down. So
we reached into our bag, we got out some dirt, and we threw the dirt on the ground, and it was like, there's your trail. Like, you threw dirt on dirt. Where's the line?
Yeah, but this is a slightly browner dirt.
This is richer dirt.
You gotta taste it. You'll know the trail.
It's right. It's always been here.
Can you use a different type or color of dirt? Why?
You're asking for too much.
It's already, the foundation is laid.
It's here.
Walk the
Look
path
at
or
it.
don't. Muzz with, and this month, a Zell writer with a magnifying glass, he going, yeah, that is the richer dirt.
That is a gram heavier. That's a richer soil.
And we gotta listen to this month explain the richer soil for like 48 minutes.
Dude. And I was remembering somebody in one of the auction streams put that video in there, and like the first minute was just like their songs coincide with each other or whatever. Was that the one that also had like a fan cartoon attached to it? I remember one of those. It may have still been Zell. It was Zell Rider, but I don't know if it was the Bumblebee thing in particular. Either way, this is gonna be trash. Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I'm not looking forward to this in the slightest.
But they are, and I guess that's what matters. Yeah, so that's Saturday, next week, and then the week after is our field stuff. And then we're done with the viewer request. And honestly, that DSP day, it may need to be half them, half us. Cause man's going wild. Man's
All
going
of it, literally. If you rocking with drama, you gay.
It's for girls and gay dudes.
Here comes some drama against this dude that hasn't said my name in months. Why are you going up against LTG?
Who dropped the fake DM?
It's to defend his boyfriend, Wings. Just to be like, oh, dang, DSP is on my side. He does have my best interests at heart. I will go on this show. He is fighting to get Wings of Redemption on his show. He can't do it.
I can't.
And it hurts him.
I can't wait for the defending of anybody going against Asmongold to try to get back in his good graces. Because he's like, hey, fans, go talk to Asmon about me. I don't want to do it because I don't want to be bothering him.
Bug him.
But you'll bug LTG?
You'll
reply to yourself?
You'll do super chats to Wings. You'll do it in his comments. You'll in his live stream like, hey, talk to me. You'll bug him. Oh, it's bad. And the month is not over yet. Who knows what can come from this?
It's the craziest start of a year I've seen in a long time for Phil. Because I think the casino arc ended in like March of last year.
Well, it was like March.
So he was still riding pretty high. I think Smart Guys had done a few episodes or was just starting up or whatever. I think he was still riding pretty high in January.
This might have been around the time that DSP Politics ended, though. That's what I wanted to talk to you about DSP Day. New, old, food, but also just like a short segment of what was going on around this time last year.
That sounds fun.
Because there's some stuff that are just lost to time.
That could be fun. Yeah, we might do that. Yeah, we could do that.
Won't be too long, but just, But obviously, we got wonder what they're going to pick for us to watch.
Yeah, I'll put up a poll of some of the clips they might want us to watch.
It was good last year.
Not poll, but
it's DSP, so it's all just...
It's all gold! Even boring DSP can be pretty fun, because you'll get like 2 minutes in a 15-minute thing, and just like, I cannot believe this dumb mother said this dumb shit.
The thing today was just stretches of just like, what the... And, oh my goodness, just shut up. He went... The LTG thing, he does not know how to roast people. At all.
None.
Before he did the whole, this room looks like it's in his granny's house. Guess what he said today?
I didn't hear it.
The same thing.
No shot. No shot.
The same thing.
No shot. Phil, unless he can get mean, he can't roast. And mean to him means slurs and that type of thing. And unless he's dropping the hard R,
oh, he needs to. That would shut him up. That would shut LTG up. What could you say back to that if he just drops like, man, I ain't trying to talk to this nigga. LTG like, what could you say? You can't call him
wake a mother.
You can't call him Burt Reynolds. Ain't nothing you can do to clap back to him.
This bull wrong. Like, he clearly either maps out or writes down his jokes. Why wouldn't he watch a bunch of LTG stuff, see the types of things he said, and then just plan it on LTG with nicknames for LTG and then the cadence of LTG?
You ain't even got to do that. You could just read the comments and see what people are saying about him and then just repurpose it.
He's not good.
No, he is.
And that's the thing. He understands that being off the cuff is a skill. And he believes he has that skill because he's been doing it for so long. But he does not have that skill. No. He is a mediocre fry cook that has been at the job for 15 years and now think he's an expert. He's a chef because he's been at the job for 15 years instead of still just being a mediocre fry cook in his 15th year.
Doing it for so long, he doesn't realize that it's not a market of your quality. Especially when you've had no challenge. Especially when at any point in time you could just ban whoever, gone out of here.
Golly.
He's gonna get that wake up call one day, and it's gonna be bad. He's gonna hear that alarm. Bam! Hit the button. Hit the button.
We will.
Yes. All I need to do is say alarm, and we will
have this
reply.
discussion before.
Yes, we have. You need to be quicker on the draw, you piece of shit.